You get different settings, like different HUD settings, so fuck shit up. Alright, YouTube's Neace, Hecarim jungle. Good times with Lunacy. Facing Aatrox. So the fact that we lost to an Aatrox right there, I mean, that's... Unless it's like Good Guy Gary or some shit. Grinding Aatrox like it's his job. We don't really have an excuse. Turn the volume a little bit. Just the voices, that's what it was. Actually, I should turn it up a little bit. Yeah. Blue start. Pretty standard. Hecarim is the... Basically, Hecarim is in the... If you just AFK farm and no one fucks with your team too hard early, you normally win. So the fact that we are going to drop a game to Aatrox kind of sucks. Knowing that. I'm going to wait until I judge your path, because right now I'm immediately thinking, why not do Gromp? But we're going to see what you do with this before I judge you. I'm of the belief that you should just go ahead and do Gromp and go all the way down to bot side and then just get level 4 and then do another clear and then you're pretty much level 6. Why does everyone keep asking about Azir? It's a very strange... I guess he's popular. That was nice. That was nice. I did not know about that. I did not know about that. That was very cool that you did that. I don't play a lot of Hecarim, so I don't know all the nuances there, but now I know. And now I tell people in the future that you can do that move to sustain up. Pretty cool. Yeah, I was doing it with Rumble in Korea too, where you use... we'll go back and show the stream so they can see if they weren't paying attention to what happened. Very smart sustain trick. The other one, the one that I was doing with Rumble, was I would do the same move except with Q, because you get heal back with your, because you have the same, I imagine, yeah, you have the Hunter's Talisman, right? With the, when you use like AoE like this, look, on the smalls, with Rumble, you can do the same thing. You basically just kind of like aggro the chickens, but you don't take damage, and you just kind of pull them and walk away. Now watch his health go up. You see that? That is how you sustain back up. That was how, when I was doing Rumble Jungle, that I was getting those like insane clears on stream, was the similar move. I didn't know you could do it with Hecarim, so it's cool to see it. Because I didn't know that applied. Alright, so you decided to level 3 gank. So overall I'd rate your path pretty high level, because I think that you did a great job of making a plan and executing it. So you went, I'm gonna go blue, wolves, chickens, and do a gank. So how this pans out from here on is just kind of variance based. Like, okay, sometimes we're going to get an early kill, sometimes we're not. Thankfully, our Nivea is a Muppet, and we're going to be able to get this kill right away. I'm going to say you can shove lane. I honestly believe that if you give a mid laner this type of open, I say just shove the lane and get the extra XP and try to carry the game. I wouldn't just leave the farm here like this, because if he can't win with a start like that, where you go ahead and just fucking delete egg and screw Nivea over right off the initial, I would say just shove. Don't skip this. And I would say the same thing if there was like 8 or 9 minions here. I would just say shove. Also, you need to remember that Victor isn't going to have a great time shoving in. See this? And if he does die to the Aatrox gank, that's going to be kind of on us. I don't think he will here, but if he does, it's kind of on us. That's dope, King. Glad to hear it, man. Your timing's E is pretty good. The other thing, when I messed around with Hecarim jungle for a while, one of the things I noticed is you think Hecarim's like a super easy champ, and to be fair, he kind of is mechanically, really. But there still is nuances that you have to fuck up a few times, like planning your E's. So I imagine, I'm going to turn on the fog here. So you see the gank coming and you're going to try to counter it. This would not have happened if you had pushed, by the way. So this is kind of like a bonus lesson here. Like, if you had jammed the lane before, the lane would never be in this formation. It would be more likely here. And that's why I was saying, like, Victor has a hard time shoving in. So we would rather have the lane right here. And then this gank would never be coming, and you would never have to worry about it. So every little action that you have as a jungle, like, jungle is arguably still probably the most important role. Mid probably slightly better right now for carrying, but every little action that you make, whether you choose to push or not to push, that changes dramatically how the lane phase goes. So here, the reason why this gank even shows up is because you didn't push all the way. Not that it matters, because the respawn time on camps is so long. It looks like you're going to go for another flank. This is very good, just abusing the same path over and over again. It looks like Victor gets it and dies. So you decide to shove, which is correct. You can shove, because if you notice, it really wouldn't make that big a difference, like to shove into tower. You would take some XP, but I would argue in low elo, like, always, like, with a champion like Hecarim who carries insanely hard, I would argue just fucking shove the lane in. You're gonna put your Victor a little bit behind, but Victor's not behind, if that makes sense. So, like, even though you would be taking some of his XP away, it's not like Anivia would be ahead of him, as seen here. Look at Victor's XP and look at Anivia's XP. You can see the purple bar. See the bar in the corner? If you notice, you wouldn't have been causing the lane any big issues. Even if the guy, like, rage pinged or whatever, it would be just balanced lane with him being slightly behind, because he's been put behind, like, and Victor's gotten a kill. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. Basically, I'm not opposed, as long as you're just not running into the lane. Oh, he rage. Well, ignore him, mute him, fuck him. He's an idiot. He's getting absolutely carried. He's playing Victor, one of the most passive champs in the game. He also forced a fight 1v1 when you were right here on the wings. It does you no good to worry about what people are bitching about, really. Like, seriously, think about that. He died when you were right here about to flank him again in the same path that got the guy killed before, and he still 1v1 had died. So as far as I'm concerned, he's a Muppet. And additionally, if I'm in your shoes, when I'm getting momentum, I never worry about my teammates' fucking XP. It's not like you give this, you take 4 CS of XP away from your mid lane, and it is game-breakingly going to change the outcome of your mid lane. Because let's face it, these guys, you're not at the level where these guys take massive advantages off of anything, right? Which is why I always say, my job's easy as a coach, because it's pretty much just like, fuck everyone but yourself. Because that's how most people need to be, like, snapped in reality. Like, fuck your teammates. Just, you need to carry, you need to do the fundamentals right, and not worry about what they're doing so you can climb. Do you think Ghost is necessary here? Oh, wait a minute. Did we go Swifties because any particular reason? And if you are copying another player's build, by all means, inform me. But I thought we were supposed to go Sheen first when we get rolling as Hecarim. And yeah, I'm not sure we needed Ghost. Oh. Oh no. So, question. Why did we hit that minion so much? What did that minion do to us, dude? You were like, fucking ghosting, gonna get this fucking minion down. And you just like plow it over. Attack move? Oh no. Fuck my bitch, dude. Fuck this minion! Pathing's fine. Whoa, why are we skipping blue, though? Whoa. Whoa. Blue's up. Whoa. Sir, whoa. Why we skip blue? Hello? You're an edge case, Lunacy, because, like, your open was great, and now you're doing goofy shit. Like, plowing into minions and skipping your blue buff. You had it up. You could have taken blue, taken scuttle, maybe hit a gank mid, shove mid, and then defend this guy's red when it comes up, because it was coming. So, like, blue, so it would be Gromp, Wolves, blue, scuttle, gank, or ward deep, defend red, because it's Aatrox. Always think about your pathing, guys. Do not forget the power of the good path. And then, like, look at how this is gimping our XP. So we cut over our blue. This is why I fucking hammer so hard on pathing, is because when you do something like this, so you skip blue and then you go to chickens. Now you've put your camps on like the weirdest stagger respawn, and then you run down to bot lane. You don't get a gank, but now you got to run back and clear camps. And your path basically looks something. I'm gonna draw it on the minimap for you. Your path looks something like this. It was like, and it's just, you skip blue, you skip red, you skip scuttles, you don't gank anything efficiently. It was ugly. Yeah, the XP changes. Just seemed like a really fucking wacky tobacco path, dude. And we didn't have blue, so now our sustain is gimped. And now you're ganking without mana, Lunacy. What is happening to us? We're struggling. We are front seat, traffic cone on our head. Look at us. Now we try to do red. We can't finish it. You basically went from, you were riding in a Rolls Royce, and you were suited up. You had your shades on, bad bitch in the passenger seat, and you were just rolling. You were rolling deep, and then suddenly, front seat of the struggle bus, traffic cone on your head. Duh! That is where you've fallen from grace. You're like one of those like TV stars that like struggle with being a celebrity and, like, you know, shave their head. I kind of shave my head a little bit, but then you go outside and, you know, you start rubbing your nipples and shit in public. That's what you became. Very quickly here. Rock star to rock, dude. Just like that. You're that dude. You're that dude on the yeah, and that was the other thing. We did talk about items. You want to rush Triforce. I don't know if like going Swifties first is the right choice, but I do know for a fact that you want to go Sheen first, so you have the extra damage. I agree with that. High Vein is right, yeah. Hecarim's good. He's a good jungler to learn the basics, yeah. You don't have to do anything fancy other than path well and farm right. There's a lot of good junglers out there too, that know a good Hecarim game. Guys, I'd recommend still doing the cool trick, which I like to see. There's well, Tarzan. I know Tarzan plays Hecarim, and he's really good at solo queue jungling. He's probably one of the best guys to watch and emulate. And then there was the other dude. Somebody in my chat's gonna know who he is. I keep forgetting the guy's name. In this spot here, as you're running forward for the gank, so you come down river and you're looking for the gank and you ghost. Always anticipate, always try to be, because you have ghost, you have E running, always be hypermobile. Dance. I know Panzer Dragon plays it. There's another guy though, I forget his name, like ultra high elo guy, plays it a lot. I can't think of him. Anyways, always be hypermobile. You're facing Leona and Varus, which have a lot of CC. As you're doing the gank, always think, how can this go wrong? So let's back this up. This is for all my junglers in the streets. Now, mental APM. We talked about this yesterday. Always like cross-referencing what the fuck's happening. I don't know about that W. I don't think that gives us enough HP back to justify it, unless you wanted to sit and farm it. Now, as you're going for the gank, this is what you got to be thinking. You got to be thinking, first of all, how can I die? How can I die? All right, yeah, you wasted your W. How can I die? So Aatrox can counter, right? How is Aatrox going to counter? I'm thinking as Hecarim, he's not going to counter me unless he's like in this bush. So we might have to juke this brush a little bit. You can also, as you're going by, you can drop a ward in here just to make sure. That's like the only way you get countered here. And then the next thing you think, all right, how can I make this gank as clean as possible? Every single time, guys, every single time you should be trying to figure out, like, I'm going to do this. Like, this is going to happen. What can happen to me? If you don't know what can happen to you, then you need to study up on the champions that you're facing, right? And this lane here, this is a high CC lane. It's going to be Leona and Varus. If you don't see Varus ult, if you haven't seen him ult, assume he has it. Very easy rule of thumb. And as you're moving forward at him, try to juke, like preemptively start juking and wiggling around. Same with Leona. You want to do that. You want to be wiggly here because you never know if Leona's going to Zenith Blade you or whatever is going to try to ult you. So you want to be extra wiggly. It doesn't matter at this point, considering the angle that we're coming in on. As long as we don't get CC'd, the gank is like super clean because he can't run, right? These guys can't get away from us. But because you get hit by the Varus ult, and I'm not saying it doesn't mean that the gank is a fail. But you need to consider any avoidable like HP loss or any avoidable CC. Like if you can avoid it, you win. Serpentine, exactly. Because of how this plays, there was a chance that we get outplayed. Imagine if Varus has heal or something there, right? That would have been really bad for us. So that's why I'm saying every time you go to gank, think about, well, you know, what can happen to me? And then adjust accordingly. And then that way you won't run the risk of getting outplayed. And then you can simply just walk away if the gank's shitty after that. Nice to see you finally rocking Sheen. I really think you should have went that earlier. You need to E right here. I don't know what you waited on. You needed to E and kill him. I'll show you. Watch. As in E and ult after him. So you E here so that you can check the corner. If he's here, then you're going to ult over and kill him. I don't like that you don't look for this because I don't even play Hecarim and I know that you can catch him there. And that's not good. If I know that that's a kill that you can execute and you don't, that's a problem. Right? You know I don't really play. Oh, that's not fair. I played Hecarim a little bit. But still, like, if I know that this is a kill and you don't know, and you don't even look for it, look at you. You should have already E'd out because the pathing. I'll show you with the Fog of War off. Fog of War, he backs down, right? We know where he's going. He's going this way. We're going to press play here. So we know where he's going. Right? Now, if you had E'd, you would have already been out chasing him, and then you can ult to extend the gank to here, to pop him at the tower. You got to go for it. There's no reason not to. You're full HP, he's low HP. You got a nice little isolation ult to single target his ass and catch him. You can't run. A mobile champ. At least try to get his flash or something. And then take tower. He's a dumbass. If he wasn't a dumbass, he's out, right? And you did it without using ult, which is pretty nice, actually. Considering he's a dumbass. Why not flank?
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Why not flank, Fiora? Why? So you get the tower down. Then Darius TP's bottom. Fiora 1v9ing. Not a bad fight.
Shut down.
How long do I have to wait for fucking Frida? I know, right? Good shit. Get the kill. Tax the wave. You're doing a full clear. Why skip red? Why do you hate your buffs? You have a very weird way about just skipping buffs randomly. And it makes no sense. Mana's pretty low. I don't know what you're doing. Just go! Your fucking buffs. So that you're not mana starved. Also, look, that's a path. Just clear, dude. Just clear. Your Hecarim. Clear. Bam, 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 bam. Then fucking gank. After you're level 11, dude. Or, I'm sorry, you would be nearing level 12. Well, maybe not level 12. You'd be halfway to level 12. Actually, no. You were level 10 before that. There it is. You would have been at level 11 before getting up there. You would have had full mana. You would have had a more reliable fight here. Dude, just do what works. Just path this. Stop skipping your fucking camps. Take off your clown shoes and clear these, dude. Clear it. Seriously. It's really hurting you in these games. Clear first, then eat newbies. Because regardless of whether or not you eat the newbies, you're guaranteed to get a consistent source of XP. And then you eating newbies is just extra. It's just dessert. Now look, no mana. Riding the struggle bus. Less damage than we would have had. Don't like it. And we give a shutdown away.
Blue team's turret has been
Is there any reason we didn't go in on that? Looked like a good fight to me. You have Victor here. That was strange. I really feel like your major threat is Varus. It was his attack move? Oh my god. Weird exhaust. Ooh, the flight re-engaged. Oh my god, dude. If there's ever a moment to re-engage his Hecarim. Jesus, bro. You gotta want that. Look at this. Thresh hooks you up. Denies Leona and Aatrox. Just fucking ult those guys, dude. The whole session was just Tarzan saying, that's actually hilarious. This has to be the worst fight I've ever seen. Dude. You went from, like I said, you went from James Bond level Hecarim to fucking homeless dude on the subway trying to give people string cheese and rubbing on his nipples. I have never in my life, look at this. Hook, he has an opportunity to engage. Fucking attack moves a goddamn minion that way while the fight's breaking out. Alright, well, as if that wasn't bad enough, we go back in. Thresh is a god. Flays Aatrox out of jump. You hold ult, you don't engage. Look at this. You don't engage, then you get stunned, and then you ult away like a fucking clowny individual. With your fucking clowny Hecarim skin. Look at that. Clown Hecarim. Yeah, I'm fucking rocking out. Jesus. Jesus. Your path is weird. You're not thinking no more. Blue, Gromp, Wolves is closer than blue, Wolves, Gromp, and then going back. What is this? And we're behind, by the way, we're behind Aatrox right now. I have never. You guys just get hard engaged. You get blown up. And also, I think you held your ult too long in that 2v2. You needed to ult to avoid some of that damage, some of that CC, I guess. It's a correct thing. You just let yourself get CC locked. Can't do that. Just ult. If a fight's about to break out, you need to just lead it as opposed to getting engaged on. You've been doing a lot of this game. It was like you were scared to ult shit. You get a fuckload of minions, which is cool. Might as well push. I don't know where you're going. Varus just died. You have an opportunity to push a lane. Your teammates are battling. I don't know why you don't just shove this out though and get all the XP. Push all the way to tower. Instead of walking across the map not doing anything. Assume that Jin's gonna leave base and clear wave or Victor will. I don't know why you have to split resources like this. Look. Map's not being pressured. Now someone's gonna have to come back and deal with that. See what I mean? You could have pushed this all the way here by now and drawn some pressure off of mid. Now everybody's justified and just standing in mid jerking off. Not only could you shoved up here, but you could have taken a camp too. I don't mind that trade. I think in like a perfect world you could have held your ult on Aatrox that time because he wasn't really threatening you. But that's fine. That's fine, I guess. Because you're definitely gonna kill him. Took a lot of time for you to kill him. Yeah, he doesn't have double Swifties, so he's a step up. Then you go to... Oh, fuck, never mind. They already got Dragon. What happened here? I don't know what you see or what you think you're gonna do with E and ult on cooldown, but you're just being really weird here. Like, you're just chasing... You have Anivia, who does a wonderful job of kiting. She's level 16, dog. She's gonna kite you all day. Instead of chasing, just go to mid and clear that. Push that out. Give it away. Alright, let's summarize this replay. First things first, your open was good. And then after the open, it all just went to crap. Yeah, you got decently fed, but overall, you kept neglecting your pathing. Like, you would skip camps, you would do silly things like skipping camps. Obviously, the attack move issue where you're aware of. Your build was weird. I think that you're supposed to just go like Sheen first as opposed to what you did, which was Swifties, and I think you could have afforded it considering you got first blood. So that you have a little bit more burst damage when you do emerge out of pathing, which is your primary focus on Hecarim. You double check that, make sure I'm not an idiot, but that's what I thought was standard on Hecarim. The next thing, you're outside of the pathing issues, I felt like a lot of this game was like you being very indecisive with your ultimates, like not sure when your engage is good and when it's bad. There was times where I was like, man, that would have been a great ult. And you want to keep things short as Hecarim. You want to keep fights short so you can get back to pathing and farming. Okay? That would have really helped you this game. Is improving the pathing and making smart ults. And then lastly, late game, I don't know why... Like, you got to understand what high elo players are thinking when they're playing in low elo. They don't think, oh, I need to fight with these monkeys. They think, how can I reliably every game get... big? If there's no top laner near me taking the farm, if he's running around the map like a chicken with his head cut off, divide pressure. Instead, just push top all the way to the tower. Make your own shit happen. Do your own thing and control the game in your own way. as opposed to going, well, the lane's here now. Like, you literally pushed one wave, and you're like, well, time to go all the way across the fucking map to my team to help them. That's what I didn't like. If you shove all the way in, you could take some camps. You can maybe 1v1 somebody. You can do your own thing because you have that pressure around the map, and then draw people to you. Then rotate down. I'm not saying split push all game. I'm just saying when the opportunity presents itself, create your own XP lead. Okay. Overall, it was a good replay. Learned a lot. Little tip in there with the W sustain. And I hope it helps the junglers out there. Thank you very much for watching. If this makes it to the channel, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe, and I'm out. Peace. Cracks. Thanks.